Milo, is that you?
There, I think I got it.
Tony?
Hey, yes.
You're still here?
I am still here. No, I've been cleaning out the green room. You know, we do that annual cleaning because we don't do spring cleaning or things like that. You know, it just comes up from time to time. And so, yeah, I've been in here, you know, doing kind of the summer while we kind of have everybody away on summer vacation is the time to do maintenance here at the AML headquarters. So, yeah, I'm always here.
The old AML headquarters right there in downtown Busted Knuckle, Kentucky.
It's beautiful this time of year.
Have you ever been to that, I've heard rumor. Now, I still can't determine if it was a dream or it actually happened. And I went on a road trip with you and we drove all through the backwoods, back way of Nebraska and ended up in a town called Deshler. And there was like this fabulous model railroad store in Deshler, Nebraska.
Isn't it? You know, anytime the weather is nice, that's what I always think of. This would be a great day to get in the car, you know, put some music on, take that nice drive up there. And it's such a neat little town. I mean, you know, and then you go down the brick street there, turn the corner, pull up, and here's this amazing train store in a town of like a population of 747 people. And it's like, wow, you know, and every person I have taken in there for the first time literally always thinks, oh, you know, I've put on some kind of big to-do and that it won't be all that. And then they just kind of stand there. And that's usually see Dave or Deb or one of the guys, you know, it's like, yeah, we get that a lot.
And if you walk down to the local saloon, you know, they'll say, and you say, have you seen the Zucker brothers, the Zucker boys?
I don't think, you know, I've never looked for one there because I don't drink, but I don't know of a saloon I can think of in Deshler. There used to be I think the little restaurant is open again on the north side of town, and there's a great park. I've had picnic lunches there with my dad and that kind of thing. So, yeah.
The best part is, so it wasn't a dream. We actually did go.
We went there because we bought stuff, and I think that was the first day of our trip, and we ran up to Strang, Nebraska afterwards and went to Bubba's Anytime and had hamburgers, and
that's a highlight of my life is when we were talking to Deb, and we were interviewing her with the portable thing, and Deb goes, so are you guys going to Strang, Nebraska? Well, how far is that? Oh, about 27 miles from here. Well, yeah, I guess. Yeah, we're going to drive through there. It's named Strang. She says, are you going to have a Strang burger?
And at that point, I thought, okay, Deb is now teasing Lionel here a little bit. A Strang burger. Because I'm thinking, I don't think Strang is even as big as Deshler. So, like, what kind of food place would there be? And, yeah, a Strang burger. It's like, oh, Deb's picking on the poor Canadian. And no, it really was.
Right. So anyways, I highly recommend to anybody on the planet, they have to make the trip to Deshler, Nebraska and Spring Creek model trains because it is like this. If you're a model railroader, it is like this magical place.
It is. No, that's the word. That is the word. I mean, a beautiful spring summer day. You know, you're up through the rolling fields as you're heading up there, and then you pull up in this great store. It truly is. It's magical. And, you know, they do an open house from time to time.
Do they?
Yeah. I think it's every other year. It's usually in the summer. I'm trying to think if this year is on or not. I wish if we had some of the Zuckers here, it would be great because they could tell us.
If the Zucker boys showed up.
There we go.
All right. Come on in, you guys.
All right.
So thanks who are we talking to here?
So this is Jeff and Mike with Spring Creek. So we're the Zucker brothers. So I'm the better looking one. He's the older one.
So how long have you two guys worked in the store?
I moved home about 5 years ago to help. And then
so I just moved home a year and a half ago. So I left a career with the Union Pacific and came back to work in the family business. So.
Really? So Deshler is like the homestead. It's like where you guys grew up?
Yep.
Yes, it is.
Wow. And Was it bigger or smaller when you guys were growing up?
It was a tad bigger, but not much. So it was a little over 800 when we were growing up.
Really? And so you're Jeff.
I'm Mike.
You're Mike.
That's Jeff. Yep.
Okay. Well, can you be Jeff for the rest of the show? And
I've been Jeff for a long time. For a lot of that's the younger brother problem. So,
yeah. Can I call you Steve?
Sure. We'll make this happen.
So, Mike, do you find working with the smaller trains easier than the ones on the Union Pacific? I mean, are they easier to pick up and move around than when you worked for the UP?
Yes, sir. They're way easier to move around. So there's a little less pressure on a lot of stuff around here compared to what I was doing. But it's all fun. I mean, it's good lessons learned at UP that can apply here. So,
Mike, you moved home 5 years ago?
Jeff moved home 5 years ago. Yeah.
Can you guys put on name badges or something?
Yeah.
Jeff is the older one. Mike is the better looking one. How hard is this?
Jeff is the guy in the green shirt.
That's right.
All right.
Yeah.
So
and
Jeff,
and he's picking on Mike because Mike used to work for the UP. So Jeff obviously wears that Be In shirt all the time to go, be in. Not for me.
You can't believe it, Tony, how many times. So Dave's a big BNSF guy because I worked at the UP. So he wears the orange all the time. So yeah. Big brother does it to me too. So,
so Mike, you moved home 5 years ago?
Jeff moved home 5 years ago.
Oh, now I get it. Now I
the
get
guy
it.
in the green moved home 5 years ago.
What an idiot I am. Jeff?
Yeah.
So you moved home. You moved home 5 years ago.
That's correct. I did. I gave up while I was in the IT world. And Dave came to me and said, we'd like you to move home because your mom and I have taken this as far as we can go. And we need help making it bigger and better. And I said, well, okay, I'll see what I can do. And I spent probably 3 years just trying to find a website developer that could understand model trains because it's unique. They all understand retail real easy, but model trains is very unique in that everything's limited production.
Okay.
So they didn't get how much turnover and new products I had to add constantly. Most of them are like, oh, well, you order a shirt and you reorder the shirt. Well, yeah, that works in shirts, but not in trains. So
yeah, because I remember when the new website went up, it was like, like everybody was talking about how cool the website was and what a difference it was. It reflects what the store is now.
Yeah, we appreciate that. So Jeff puts a lot of hard work into our website and keeping it up to date. And keeping it organized.
And I remember talking to your mom at Springfield, I think it was at Springfield. And I was torturing her. She was like, you had 1,000 customers, and I'm standing there with my portable microphone, and I'm asking her questions while she's ringing people out. But she said that once you got the new website up and going, the business catapulted forward again.
We've been really surprised at how well it's done, and we're just so thankful for everybody out there that we've met over the years that just keep coming back.
Yeah. Yep. And have either of you guys been who was the model railroader in the family? Your dad? Dad
was the start.
Yep.
And then of course Mike and I followed suit.
So you guys have been model railroaders. You are actually interested in the hobby as well as retailers?
Yes. Yep. So Jeff's HO scale. He does the models, the Montana Railing, the MRL. So
right.
We're going to be building a layout in his new basement here, hopefully within the next year, get started. They just moved into a new house or a remodeled house.
Right.
And then I've been in N scale for as long as I can remember, and I'm a SP modeler. So I used to have a layout in Omaha that Jeff helped me build, plus some other friends up there that helped me build. And it's been in storage now for the last couple of years because I had to move with the UP and stuff. And now coming back to Deshler, I have to remodel a house now. So I got to do that before I can build my layout.
Right. Yeah. So we'll get on to the reason we're mainly here is because of the big show you guys got coming up. But let me just ask a couple more questions because, it's pretty cool. Like you guys must realize what a spectacular business you've got going there. Like you find it like a friend of ours, Steve Atwell, he has a store in Kansas City, Independence, Missouri. And I mean, he seems to really enjoy it. Like, do you guys enjoy the daily life of owning one of the four? I mean, I would say it's one of the top 5 stores in all of North America. Yeah. I mean, I don't know stores from around the world, but if there's stores that compare to this.
No, we love it, right? We love getting to interact with the customers that come in. A lot of what Jeff and I do are in the back office, so we try to make it downstairs to the retail floor quite a bit to be able to talk to customers, and it's always fun to see where they've come from. I mean, we have customers from all over the country that will come and see us like once or twice a year, so it's pretty cool to see them. You make friendships all over. I just all that. I mean, even the interactions that we've had now through social media, right? I've gotten, or I guess we have gotten, where we're doing Facebook videos together out there talking about new products, and that's been fun. I mean, it's just who we are out there, so we don't try to do anything fancy or anything. So it's just us, right? You get Jeff and Mike on the videos.
Right.
So.
Yeah.
I just noticed, Tony, you're wearing a Spring Creek shirt.
Well, of course. Why aren't you wearing yours? Don't you have one?
Mine's in the laundry. I wear it so much.
I can't remember. I don't remember when I get this. I think I have a Spring Creek, little bag that I got at a show, but I think I got this at the shop one time or another. But yeah, the summer show is coming up in this month in July. And is this, I know I've been to 2 of them. Is this the 4th one? Fifth, is it?
I think it's the 5th. You're throwing us off on that one. But
I think you were right with the 4th.
4th? Okay.
Because it's every other year, I think. And I think I've been to, I don't know that I was at the first, not the second, and then from there. But yeah, it's such a fun trip to go to. So yeah, I was thrilled this year that Model Railroad News will be there with a table.
Yeah.
We'll have magazines I'll have Model Railroad News and HO Collector and our new Diesel Era. And there's always giveaways too. So I'll be bringing some White River books for giveaway as well. And man, it's such a fun, it amazes me the people that are there, because again, it's like such a small town. You think, well, who's going to show up? Who's going to come out here to do this? And there's all kinds of people, and the setup layouts to see. I mean, it is true. There's good food too. Hot dogs, there's always some of the best pie.
Yeah.
I don't know who does the food for you there, but yeah, the food is really good too. So, but a really fun time.
Who does the food? Because is there even a restaurant open in the town anymore?
No, our restaurant actually closed. It closed about a year ago now, I guess. The concessions is done by the American Legion Auxiliary Group, so that's actually run by our aunt. So there's a collection of ladies in town that make all the pie, right? And we know it's a big hit, and it's a big hit for them. They absolutely look forward to the show and doing their fundraising and just getting to meet everybody. So we have the Legion Auxiliary. They're signed up again to do all the major food, and then we actually have a smaller concession stand at another. We're actually in 4 different locations this year.
Wow!
So we're in one more. So in one of those locations, we have one of our local youth groups is going to be doing a little free will snack concession stand. So
let me get this straight. You're in 4 different locations in the town of Deshler?
Yep, in the town of Deshler. So we got the train store where we're at tonight, right? We're up in the back office. So we got the train store, and then we got the event center. So you guys been there to see the layouts. And then we're also at our local library, which is just on the same block as the train store. That's where all the clinics will be at. And that's a brand new library that's just got built within the last couple of years. And then we're at one of the school gyms, the parochial school gym. We'll have another layout that was too large to fit at the event center with everything. So it's going up there with its own space. That's where we'll have the other little concession. So.
Wow. And that's if you've not been there and you're wondering what this is going to be at a hobby shop, and it's in a small town in Nebraska, the south side of town has where I guess you guys have we've got one here in my area, with the county fair, that kind of thing. And you've got an event center. So no, it's not all in the hobby shop. That this really is like going to a train show, that they have that at their community area. And one of the greatest things is getting to talk to the industry people, because while there are a lot of people there, it's not really the hustle bustle of like Amherst or Train Fest or some of those. You walk, there's Intermountain and Athern, and you'll see these people scale trains and get to talk to them and visit with them, because it is, it's a more relaxed, it's a fun, and it's 2 days. Is that right? What are the dates again? I don't think we've even said that so far.
Well, the dates are July 24th and 25th.
Yeah.
That's a Saturday and a Sunday.
Yep.
And it's 10 o'clock each day, I think?
9 to 5 on Saturday and 10 to 4 on Sunday.
So, and your mom and dad must have come up with this idea, like, it sounds like about 8, 9, 10 years ago. And were you guys going, well, who's going to come to Deshler, Nebraska all the way for a train show?
Absolutely. That was definitely a concern that first year. And that we were just helping as family members at that point. We weren't a part of the store. And Dad's like, he goes, well, I'm not worried about this first one because it was an open house too for our new building that we moved into, and to try to get everybody to come and see us. And that one worked out great. And then I'm like, well, you can't do this every year. That's not going to work. And he's like, okay, well, we'll do it every other year. It's like, okay, so here we go.
Yeah, I remember.
And the second show, the stars really aligned, and my dad met somebody who knew Pelle Soberg.
Okay, Pelle Soberg, yeah.
The second show, we got in contact with Pelle, and it happened to work out. It was his trip to the United States every year to talk to Kalmbach about books.
Yep.
So he came and did clinics that year, and that just drew people from, I think we had 17 different states represented, and it was just a blast. And he was such a gracious person, and his clinics were awesome. And you would think he'd have such mind-blowing techniques, but they were so simple that he taught everybody. It was just a lot of fun.
Yeah, that was the big one. And we've done good years after that. And we're expecting this year just to be as good. I mean, we got a lot of great clinics this year. So
who are some of the people we'll see this year?
So we got 6 clinics signed up right now. So we got Brian Wood from Rail Fan Models. So we teamed with him. Dave had the idea of doing the Boeing 777 car that runs, between Wichita and Seattle. So we did that with Brian. We've had that at the store. So Brian's coming up to talk about 3D printing. Dave Berman out of Wisconsin's coming to talk really about like the agricultural industry and the rail. So he's doing some clinics on that. Got a couple guys from Intermountain. Lee Ryan's going to do one on DCC and how that all works, and how to set up your layout. And then Strang, the head of Intermountain, he's going to be doing a clinic too on Saturday morning. So a special thing on his clinic, he's going to be handing out some certificates. So get a certificate for if you buy an Intermountain product over the weekend. So, and then George from Soundtracks, it's always good to see him come and give some of those. And then Doug Geiger, who's out of Colorado, is going to be doing a clinic about tools. Different tools to use in model railroading. So we got a full 2-day setup on all the clinics. So
Deb asked me if I wanted to talk. So I said, my clinic would be, I go to Spring Creek and I get my MasterCard or Visa out of my wallet and I buy the train. I take it home. I take it out of the box. I'm like, wow, that's really cool, but don't break it or mess it up. I put it back in the box on the shelf, and then I decide what I'm getting next from Spring Creek. So that's my whole clinic. And she decided to pass this year. She said, why don't you work on it a little more and come back to me in a couple of years?
Yeah. I love it. That's funny.
It'd be hard you got to be careful with the George Bogota because he doesn't talk. He's not much of a talker.
No. But my mom told me the day that Deb was telling me that, I scheduled these Soundtracks clinics for George, right? So that you would have time to go to one of them, because you need to learn more about DCC. So,
okay.
Yeah. So she put me on the hot seat that I have to go to one. So, yeah.
So how many people do you have? Do you have a rough idea of how many people? Well, you must, how many people are you hoping to have come by?
We're expecting somewhere around 700. That's been kind of our average for all the different shows that we've had. The Pella year was the large year because of the draw, the name. But this year, being one of the,
we're one of the few shows where the manufacturers are going to be out.
Yeah, this is the first show. I can't think of the last show I was at, and I remember talking to Jim from Athern, and we both said that's the first show I think we're both doing this year. So yeah, I think that's one of the fun things too, is that the shows are kind of coming back, and this is one of the very first.
Well, and it's important, I think, Tony, to try to give people, like, it's an experience. Like the show and the town and the store is a model railroad experience that you can't have pretty much anywhere else in the lower 48, because it's not just some little podunk store in a small town. You know, I don't want to say the middle of nowhere, but I think it's not far from there.
Yeah, you can see it from Deshler. It's not, but on a clear day, you can. It's like it's right over there. Yeah, it's the middle of nowhere. Yeah,
but the store, for anybody who's not been there or anybody who's thinking about going to this show, the store is spectacular. Like, you could put that store in downtown Manhattan, New York, and you would be blown away.
Oh yeah,
you'd think you'd gone to model railroad heaven.
I mean, it is truly, I said that to Dave or Deb a couple of years ago, that as a little kid going to Caboose Hobbies on Broadway in Denver, you know, back in the 70s and 80s was so neat. And I said that when I'm here, I have that feeling again of it's just like floor to ceiling, trains everywhere. You know, it's just amazing. Anytime, how good is the store? Anytime I'm there as I'm leaving and going back down the streets to the main highway out of town, I'm always looking at the various yards, like, are there any for sale signs? That house looks nice. I wonder if that guy'd sell me his house. That, you know, I should move up here. I bet the Wi-Fi's good enough. I could do magazines up here.
Yeah, there you go. Is the Wi-Fi good enough?
We're actually getting fiber right now in town. So we're getting set up.
Well, there you go.
So, all right. So it's like a magic. This show is like a magical experience. It's not wildly crowded like Springfield. There's tons of manufacturers there. They're anxious to talk to the customers. They're anxious to interact with people. Like, you cannot go wrong going to this show. There is no downside to this show. The food is great because the local, what did you say? What is the group that does it?
The Legion Auxiliary.
Legion Auxiliary. The local Legion does the food. So that's all like homemade food.
Mm-hmm. Oh, I can vouch for that. Yep.
Looks like you got about 7, 8, 10 layouts there going. You know, it's like there's no downsides to this at all. And then if people are, so I will probably, today is probably about July 15th or 16th. So we're like 10 days away. Where's the best places for people to stay and look for a hotel?
So we do have a list on our website. Jeff's worked over the years to keep that up to date, and he's put that out there under our train show page of our website. But really, probably with 10 days left, you're probably looking a little bit farther away. A lot of the closer hotels are within 30 minutes. I would say you're probably looking there out to like 60 miles away. So, you know, an hour's drive to 30 minutes drive.
Like Hastings or York. You're too late now, Lionel, because I knew this was a good show. I'd have to look. I booked my motel like first of the year. So the Johnny come latelys here like you from Canada that think you're going to wander in. I tell you what, I'll put a sleeping bag in the back of my Lincoln and I'll crack the windows for you. $50. How about that?
We'll take the caddy. The caddy's the trunk of the caddy's big enough to set up a nice little homestead in that.
There you go. Yeah. I keep thinking that you almost should have like a whole tent city pop up in the park and everything there with people just camping out,
you know what?
Camping for the weekend. Yeah,
it's too bad. Yeah, it's too bad you guys couldn't figure out a way if there was a park or something where people could set up. People that had campers. Is there camping anywhere nearby the town?
Yes, sir. We have camping right here in the town in our park.
Yeah.
There's about 15 spaces for campers. And then if you want to pop a tent, you can pop a tent.
Yep.
And the camping is free. There's 3 days of camping for free with the city. So,
and check me if I'm wrong on this, guys, but I don't ever remember paying admission, like walking through the stuff. I mean, obviously you don't pay admission to go into the hobby shop, but like the show, I don't ever remember there being, it is.
We do have admissions for this show. We do host that Fremo event that you can.
Oh, that's what. Okay,
that one we don't charge admission for, but this one we charge $6.
Oh, okay.
And that's good for both days. Kids under 12 are free.
Plenty of parking. It's when you think, oh, I'm gonna have to park, no. Again, this is a small town. There's a lot right there. You go right in. I mean, it's same with the hobby shop. Real easy access. So Worth the trip.
So if you buy a ticket on the Saturday, for it's good for both days. So in effect, basically, it's $3 a day. I feel like, do you have any like draws or anything like that?
We do. We're going to have door prizes. So we've been working on that. So we'll have door prizes throughout the whole event. And then I guess that's probably the biggest deal down at the show. Plus at the clinics, as I mentioned, Frank from Intermountain is going to be handing out certificates for, money off of Intermountain product. So that'll be going on too.
Yeah.
So.
And I literally can spend, I don't know how many times I end up walking up to the register for these weekends. Because, it's, you think, I was going to go back and look at this again. And I can remember Dave said, something else, or are you going to get something else? I'm like, I should just open a tab and then settle at the end of the weekend. Because that's the other thing. If you've not shopped there before, you can't just walk in, see it all in about 10 or 15 minutes and be done. That even a hardcore shopper like myself is like, it takes me a couple of passes before I think I've caught everything that I was looking for. I mean, it's amazing, the stock that you guys have.
Well, yeah, and they say on their website, on the train show page, it says one of the largest model train inventories in the Midwest. Try one of the largest model train
in the world.
Yeah, in the whole world, I would say, is more like it. Okay, so let's just talk a little bit about the hobby just quickly, and then we'll let you guys go. So you both have left your full-time job. You've come back to help your mom and dad, who have built a spectacular business. Me personally, I think the hobby's growing like crazy. I think that the hobby is exploding, and we're all going to be covered with model railroad goo.
I love it.
Where do you guys see it? What have you, in the time you've spent there, do you feel like the hobby's growing, or?
I certainly do. I've seen lots of even younger kids, 12 to 14 that are getting into it, and they're kind of dragging their dad along, but then dad kind of gets into it too. I mean, it's nothing huge, it's not they're not going to build that giant basement empire right away, but they're at least getting started. And then really the pandemic kind of really put the gas to that, because we had so many people that are like, I've always wanted to do this. Now I have the time.
Right.
Oh yeah.
We gained lots are here in Nebraska that are within an hour drive of us, that they come over every so often. It's like, I got to get more stuff for the layout. And it's amazing and fun, and to help them along, because they're all just learning, really.
I think my dad and I were out there last July, because we did make a trip out to Colorado, and we stopped on the way out. And I don't remember if it was one of you guys or your dad saying, we have gone through more flex track since the pandemic started. Then he said that must be what everyone is doing, is, putting track down.
Yeah,
so,
it was amazing. I'm sure all the other hobby stores in the country were seeing the same things, but it was just amazing how many people were getting back into it. And I think the other thing that we see a lot, especially with the social media, is we're seeing a lot of gentlemen our age, right, in our generation, getting back into it and, getting a handle on it and starting to make something happen, right, on their hobbies. So I don't know. I see that as a pretty positive sign for us all. And
that's what I see. Yeah, that's what I see. I'm sorry to cut you off, but when I'm talking, it's important. Nah, that was rude. That was rude. I apologize for cutting you off, but you got me excited, because that's exactly what I think. Guys your age are embracing the hobby like never before. Like everybody, most people start in the hobby when they're young kids. 90% of the people start when they're young kids, but never before. I find with social media that guys your age are finding each other, and because you can be in Deshler, Nebraska, and connect with a guy in Boston and have an ongoing conversation without it being any kind of a problem or any kind of an inconvenience.
We see that all over. I mean, we have guys that follow us. There's hours away that we're talking to all the time, helping out with their layouts and whatnot, which is just awesome. I mean, that's one of the funnest things that we do, is help other guys out. Not that we're by no means experts on model railroads or layouts, but we just love it, right? And we just like getting in and, hey, we've tried this or we've heard about that, and try to help guys out and help anybody out. So some of the funnest times is when you see a mom with a couple kids come into the store, right? And it's almost, I know, me personally, I have to really think about, hey, let them shop, right? Don't hover so close, right? And say, hey, this is really neat, or this is how you do that, right?
Isn't it that I will get that where I tried to buy this for my kid, but I'm not sure how this works or that. I'm like, Well, I think I got one of those. Hang on. I'll put it in a box and mail it to you. It's like, just answer their question. Just answer their question.
Very cool. Very, very cool talking to you guys. So we're going to put this out. I'm going to, let's see, what day, should I put it out on Thursday or Friday, Tony?
Thursday, the 15th? So then folks have got a whole week if they've not planned yet.
Yeah.
And that's Spring Creek Model Trains, all together is one word. Isn't that right, guys? SpringCreekModelTrains.com. You guys are on Facebook too, so you can look them up on Facebook. And have you seen their new product videos, Lionel? You sounded like you had not. I share them on Model Railroad News' Facebook page when I see them, but they are really good. And sometimes they get, who's the younger kid? It's like a little girl or something.
That's my daughter. So
yes.
My oldest, yeah.
I mean, these are fun when they've got the red sheet or whatever laid out with here's all our new products, and it's fun to see. But yeah, so Facebook for Spring Creek Model Trains and the website springcreekmodeltrains.com, and there's the tab there for this show that'll give you all the particulars on location, and if you're still looking for, a place to stay or something, at least give you some ideas. But it's a must whether you make it to this show on the 24th and 25th of July, or as I always say when I'm telling people, if you're driving to the Grand Canyon from Chicago or St. Louis to Denver or whatever, whether you're on 70 or 80, plan to come off those interstates and go down to Deshler, because it will be as great as going to like Mount Rushmore or Yellowstone. It's like,
It is. It really is. For model railroaders, I would put this on the same level as going to Mount Rushmore.
Right.
Because it's like one of those things that you would travel to, and you won't be disappointed when you get there.
We're all thankful for what you guys are saying, right? I know my mom and dad, or our mom and dad, right, would be saying the same thing. So we just, again, our family likes model trains. So that's why we're here doing this.
That's why we're doing it.
Yep.
Yeah. So are your mom and dad still doing as many shows as they were? Do they plan on, when the pandemic's over and we're back into full swing, are they still going to be on the road as much as they were before, do you think?
I don't think it'll be as much, but there'll be quite a few for sure. They were doing about 40 to 42.
I know.
Oh, and now they'll probably dial that back to around 30. They love it. They've said it from the beginning. It's like, we love doing that, traveling and doing it. We're trying to make the setup easier for them so that they don't have to spend so much time doing the work.
Right. Yeah. I mean, I feel like I know your mom better than I know your dad, only because I've talked to her more. But I mean, she's a great lady. She's super, super friendly. She, when I'm giving her, she gets my jokes. She's just a real, and you guys obviously have the same personality. It's just, that's part of the magic, Tony, of Spring Creek.
Oh yeah.
It's not just that it's a cool store. It's the people that own it are fun to be around, and are real pleasant folks. You guys should be proud of yourself for who you are and what you've done.
I mean, it really is. When I think it was Dad, maybe it was his first visit or his second visit in the shop last July. And I remember as we got back out on the road, he's like, what's his name again? I said, it's Dave and Deb Zucker that own the store. And then their sons in the family works there. He goes, wow, they are great people. And I said, yeah. I said, oh yeah. I said, and it's fun to buy from, because I know Dad does and I do too. And I always bug them, if there's some sample or something I don't get from a manufacturer, I'm always like, hey, did you happen to get one of these? Because I really wanted one of those and they were out. Can you find one of these for me? I don't care what road number, whatever. I just need it for the magazine. And they are fantastic about getting that kind of stuff for me. So, I mean, that's their customer service is A1.
We have great folks that work for us. I mean, Sharon and Glenda.
Yes. Oh, yeah.
That's amazing. They do such an awesome job. Yeah. We have such a good time with the 6 of us. Right now, his daughter and my daughter are working here at the store through their summer vacation, helping us with inventory. So we're just having a blast. I mean, we just can't thank you guys enough for what you've been saying about us. I mean, we just like model trains. We just like people, right? Yeah, we like talking to people about it, just trying to be good people as we go through this life, right? And
yeah, exactly.
And we're looking forward to what the next chapters of Spring Creek's going to be. That's one of the big things that brought Jeff and I back, is not what it is now, is what it could be. So we're looking forward to those days, right? And hopefully have you guys here more often.
Okay, let me plant this seed. You're in Deshler, Nebraska, town of about 750 people. You got this store. I'm in Plattsburgh, Missouri. We got a population of 2,000. That's more than twice the population you got. I'm a stone's throw from Kansas City and St. Joe. open a store up here that I could walk to. That would be fantastic.
We've heard that a lot from a lot of people.
Yeah.
We got, the hometown roots is a big thing, right? And family's important to all of us. And, we're all close to our extended families, even from our mom and dads to, our wives are close. Their families are close by to both of us. So that's important for us. So we've had opportunities and talked about going to other cities, and it's just working out for us here. So
and Mike, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if you wanted me to repeat this, but Jeff doesn't seem like he's lazy to me.
Oh, I thought you were going to say
Oh, wait a minute. Was I not supposed to repeat that? Oh, sorry.
Let me pull that out of the back.
Tony, can you give out our email address, please, and thank you.
If you would like to drop us an email, you can do so by going to amoddlerslife.com, and it is as simple as clicking on the picture of our mildly agitated mailboy Bruce, and that will open up in a web browser for you to send an email to amoddlerslife.com. And don't forget Spring Creek Model Trains. That's July 24th, 25th, Saturday, Sunday. Mark your calendar, and if you can't make it then, remember, if you're doing any kind of traveling across the U.S., Nebraska's dead center, you got to stop. Lionel and I've been there, I don't know, probably half dozen times. I took all the way from Canada. I bring people to the store because it's just that cool. So springcreekmodeltrains.com.
There's nothing like it. There really, truly is nothing.
Nothing like it, yeah.
Yeah. And, I think that covers everything. I think we got it all covered. We got our website and all that stuff. I think that's it. So now, Mike is the one in the green shirt, right?
No, Jeff. That's Jeff. Still Jeff. That guy's still
Jeff.
I cannot.
That's all right. That's all right.
I've been called Jeff by my dad forever, so that's why I'm the third favorite. So
that was what he really said before you got here, Jeff. Was I'm the third favorite, and I'm thinking.
So Tony, you'll have to ask my mom next time you see her. Ask her about my 30th birthday. Oh. She actually forgot about my 30th birthday for like 4 weeks or something.
Oh my gosh. But the mileage you get out of stuff like that. My dad took me to Colorado in 1979 when I was like 12 or 13 for my birthday. I got to get out of school. We rode the Rio Grande Zephyr, all that stuff. So I always say to my mom, well, there was that one time in the 1970s when I was a little kid that you didn't even have a birthday cake for me. And she's like, your dad took you to Colorado for your birthday. Oh, did I?
Yep.
So you can always run the guilt. Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That's where the third favorite attitude comes from. So I've been running with that for a lot of years now.
Awesome. Well, can't wait to see you guys this summer, or in about 10 days. So awesome.
Thank you guys for fitting us in.
Oh, man. Yeah, it's awesome.
Making this happen. So this is way cool for us. So.
Well, we'll do it some more. We'll do it a bunch more times as the years go by. Tony, are you ready to take us out of here?
I think so, yeah.
So remember, a Modeler's Life podcast is considered marginally adequate by 6 out of 10
third favorite sons in every family.
by 4x4 car crushing action Saturday at the Spectrum. Burning motor coaches battle it out in the mud bog with special guest stars Heather Locklear and Knight Rider Car Kit.
It's another Lincoln Homer.